We are back. We are back. Episode 134, episode 134 of your favorite sports podcast. What's going on, man?
We in the building, episode 134. Hey, I'm going to play it with cast 3. You already know, bro.
But let's get right to it, man. Boys, they got your Eagles, man. You know, I watched that whole game. You know what's crazy about y'all? Sometimes y'all look unstoppable, man. When Jalen Hurts is just throwing it, AJ, it's just clicking. It's like, why don't they do that all the time, right? Second half, it slowed down for y'all. That happened last year when y'all played the Bucks. I don't know if you remember that Bucks game. Jalen came out on fire. That second half was just kind of like, what happens as a real fan? What do you think happens in those lulls where Jalen looks like a world beater? He looks like he could throw for 5,000 yards in the season, and then he just the offense kind of just shrinks. What do you think happens during that time?
Not to even bring basketball up, but what I see from the situation is this. When I look at the Lakers from this year and last year, you see the coaching is more mature. Kevin Petrulla is a bum.
You've been saying it all year.
No, because what was working in the first half? Why are you not doing the same thing that's working in the first half?
Right.
Why are we not running the same type of run plays for Saquon? And then Saquon he's a real G. He takes it on the chin. It's me. I need to run better. And the offensive coordinator don't say it's on him. It's not on him. So to me, it doesn't make any sense. We know what kind of quarterback Jalen is. He can do underneath passes. He can do deep passes. Immediate, he's not that great. So why don't you make the offense towards what he can do? They don't do that. And then it gets even more annoying because I know as a Giants fan, you feel the same way. Any team we want to sweep is the Cowboys. You lose to the Cowboys, man, listen, man, I was feeling just like the Al Pacino from Godfather. I was hurt, man. Hurt. Big time.
It's crazy because, like, I stopped watching the game. I was like, oh, they got this, Jalen cooking. Let me ask you this, though, right? I think with AJ, right, where AJ's killing, Jalen and AJ, there is no chemistry issue. When they want to go AJ's way, they can get that whenever they want. So I don't think it's a Jalen thing. I think it's a game plan thing, kind of going back to your offensive coordinator thing. Why do you think they go away from that? Is it like, all right, we got AJ his X amount of touches, let's do something else? Like what's causing them to not stick with what's dominating?
Well, when you look at the team, and I'll be straight up with you, I had this conversation with my brother off air, and he was saying this, and I think you said the same thing to me. A.J. Brown only runs 3 routes in the route tree: slants, deeps, and comebacks. If you ever look at him, that's what he runs. Now, what he is he's a person like Michael Irvin. He's able to go at the highest point.
Possession receiver.
Yeah, and pull the ball down.
Sure.
Now, we all know your boy Smitty is the best route runner in the league.
Oh, my
He can
goodness.
run any route to the T.
100%.
But AJ wants the ball because he has that Michael. So just picture, you have Marvin Harrison on one side and you have Mike Irvin on the other. Mike Irvin's going to always demand the ball. Oh, I could catch it. But everybody's saying it looks like he's lost a step. Who was it? Dan Orlowski said this on ESPN. He said, when you look at it, he's getting out of his breaks about 1.5 a second later than last year.
Wow.
And
that's a lifetime.
Yeah, and 1.5 a second in the NFL is everything.
For sure.
And now when you look at, we don't get Devontae the ball as we should when he needs to get the ball. He can run more routes. So for him, the reason why he has more yards after catch, more catches, more touchdowns, is because he can run every route. While AJ goes, comebacks, and slants. And the defense knows what's coming. Okay, when your legs are this way, you run the comeback. Oh, when your legs are this way, you run the slant. And you're complaining to the owner, and everybody that's in the media, except for us, are literally just saying, oh, it's Jalen Hurts. Oh, it's the OC. It's a combination of both. It's the OC and it's
the skill set.
Yeah. And that's the problem. And then you see everybody still gets open. Even Saquon gets more open than AJ. But AJ makes it about him, and that's the problem. And I'll be honest with you, I'm ready for him to go. You said that last year, and when you said it, I didn't even listen to you. I was like, we could possibly still keep him. Now, the same way I feel about Travis Kelce and Chris Jones with Kansas City is how I feel about AJ. Trade him. Imagine if they made, the trade was on the table, and Myles Garrett has 18 sacks. He is about to break the NFL record. He could have done that in an Eagles uniform, but we chose not to make the trade. Howie Roseman, you always make the right decision. It's the first time you got it wrong.
Speaking of Myles, let's stay with Myles Garrett. I'm glad you brought him up, man. We've been watching sports a long time, right? And we've lived through some of the greats, whether it's basketball, baseball. What we're seeing with Myles Garrett, I don't want to I'm a Giants fan, so I was able to see Strahan, see that up close, and I appreciated it. We were a little too young all the way for Lawrence Taylor. That was but we were still Jits for the most part, right? But seeing Strahan, seeing Myles Garrett out of like the Aaron Donalds, the great pass rushers and quarterback pressures, what makes Myles Garrett's skill set different from the JJ Watt, the TJs, all the other people we've seen? What makes Myles Garrett different out of all the greats we've seen?
Myles Garrett is Aaron Donald and Lawrence Taylor in one. He can do the strafe to push you off to get to the quarterback. He's fast enough to go around the corner. He might even be faster than Lawrence Taylor.
You see how low he gets
Yeah,
turning that
and
corner?
yeah, exactly. Now, do I think he's the greatest sacker I've ever seen? I can't say that. But is he in the vicinity of that? Yes, he is. If I'm making a call right now, eye test, I have to go LT1. I have to. I go LT1, but I would say this. People gonna say I'm tripping. He's better than Aaron Donald. Yes, he's better than Aaron Donald. He's better than JJ and TJ Watt.
Okay.
But I would say if we had to make a pick, I would go Lawrence Taylor 1, Reggie White 2, Myles Garrett 3. And that's what I say.
So you got him over Warren Sapp. You got him
Bruce
over
Smith. Listen,
Reggie White.
listen. When you see what he's doing on the team that he's doing it on, and there is no one else that you have to worry about on the line, that shows how great of a sacker he is.
I agree.
Who was on that line? I mean, when you looked at LT still had other dominant players on the defense. It not going to the quarterback, but doing other things on defense. When you look at Cleveland is team if Shador Sanders can be a hint of Patty, a hint of Jalen Hurts, a hint of Lamar Jackson, the Cleveland Browns is a top 3 playoff team every year. We're talking about the best player in football on the defensive side. Mark my words, when they do top 100 next year, Myles Garrett will be one.
Speaking of that, let's stay with Shador, right? When you look at Shador, your favorite line is styles make fights, system make players, right? We've seen that with a Mac Jones, how he had success when Purdy went out. Obviously, we've seen that with Carson Wentz when he stepped in. You know, Sam Darnold. We see a lot of these players who were bums. Daniel Jones as of late, right? So when you look at Shador Sanders, right? Well, you know, Stefanski, is he going to be there? Who knows? I personally think they hate Shador. Like, every time he talks about him, it's like a disdain to where he can't even play the political game. Like, it's just like, it's something about Shador Stefanski don't mess with. Put that to the side. With Shador getting the summer, if he beats out Gabriel in the summer, right? Getting reps with the first team, the starting ones, right? They kind of shore up the offensive line, get a weapon or two his way. What kind of impact could Shador make on that team? Like, immediately. With his skill set, his big throw ability, he's not afraid of the moment. He's super accurate. And remember, in Colorado, he had no offensive line. Every time Shador Sanders threw that ball, he was on his ass. So he could take hits. He's seen every rush package there is. So what can Shador Sanders be with just a second to think? Because you see Daniel Jones. He looked like Roger Staubach right now. So what does a skilled passer like Shador with that pedigree do? Full summer, game plan for, what does he do with that defense, like you said?
But what I saw Sunday, and if he gets more reps with the first team. Now, the thing is Cleveland is a bad team. If you put Shador on the Colts is a Super Bowl team.
Just a plug-and-play type.
Listen, right now as we speak, you're putting Shador Sanders. And you know what I always say? If you have a running quarterback with a good running back, the running back supersedes. I mean, look at Taylor. Taylor this year. I mean, Danny Dimes is not the greatest rushing quarterback, but you have to play for him.
Right.
Taylor's going to break Saquon's record. He may even break the rushing record of Dickerson if he keeps it. This is a year where we're going to watch records be broken.
I see that.
Record's going to be broken. So now when you look at Shador Sanders, I mean, he was drafted to the wrong situation. Clearly, I know people are not going to like what I'm saying, but he was blackballed. He's better than, listen, right now as we see it, he's better than Cam Ward. If you put him on where Cam Ward is, the Titans will be a winning team. Shador got blackballed.
Cam struggling.
Yeah. Shador got blackballed. They didn't draft him. They didn't do what they wanted to do. I mean, who else was the other? Okay, we can argue maybe Jackson Dart is better because what Jackson Dart did so far with the Giants is more impressive than what I've seen from Shador.
But you know what's funny? I feel like if Shador got that start from him, he'd be doing with Jackson Dart. Like, you think about it, they motivate the team. I'm talking about not just forget the numbers. I'm talking about everybody going hard for it. You saw when Shador threw that ball,
Yeah.
Myles Garrett got up. Myles Garrett don't get up, right? People like Myles Garrett don't get excited like that. So to see him support, so that's what I think. I think the motivation will be there.
I agree with you as far as the motivation, and I think the it factor, they would be winning. But what I seen from Jackson Dart, which is different from
Shador.
is Cleveland's receivers are better. Other than Malik Neighbors, Cleveland has a better receiver.
Oh, for sure, with Judy.
And Judy and all them. And so what you're giving Shador is a better package. What we give Jackson Dart with what he's done,
Oh,
by far. That's the only reason why I'm saying that.
okay. That's
So
fair.
I would say the only person who rivals him in that rookie class is probably Jackson Dart. But for what we've seen from Shador, if they do right and they do right with him in Cleveland, we will see more wins. Now, if he wins out, he won the job. Because right now, Dylan Gabriel does not look, from what we saw from Dylan Gabriel since he's coming, he doesn't look like what Shador has, but we need to see them up against another team. Let's see what he does versus the Ravens before the season's out. Let's see what he does versus Pittsburgh before the season's out. There's still more games to be played, so we'll see what happens going forward. But let's switch gears, man. You know what I want to talk about. We here right now, you know what it is. It's Holding the Court with Prince, and we are looking at the Los Angeles Lakers. So LeBron has been back, 3 wins. They beat Utah twice. They beat the Clippers. What have you seen as far as X's and O's? And do you think that with these 3 playing at a high clip, that they can win the Western Conference?
Yeah, I think you have 4 to 5 guys that could get whatever they want, whether that's Rory, throw Rory in there, Austin Reeves, obviously. You got Luka, obviously, and Braun. That could literally get a bucket off of anybody you put in front of them. I think what we lack on defense, our individual skill set, it kind of supersedes it, right? Where LeBron, you saw he made that timely block the other night. You know, you got Ayton. So you got smart defenders. And I know, what does it say? Boardman gets paid, Kawhi Leonard. I know defense wins championships, but sometimes there's certain teams, like look at them old Mike D'Antoni teams with Phoenix, with Amari running the break, Sean Marion. They'd win championships in today's NBA. They will win championships, right? I think the Lakers are on that kind of wave where you got the athletic big. LeBron could go center. You could have LeBron, Ayton, Luka. Your back line is 6'9" and above. So the Lakers are big. They can score with the best of them. So OKC is playing. They're on pace to probably win 70+ games a year. Like this year alone, J-Dub is still not playing. That's scary, dog. So like, I'm a Laker fan, and I think offensively we look sharp. Luke was playing at an all-time great level. Reeves is in his bag. You got a 3-headed monster of just savants offensively. But OKC, with their connectivity on defense, with that college atmosphere, how they run through the wall for each other. They got slept on last year. People not even picking them to repeat. But I think the Lakers could give anybody a run. And there's nobody I don't think that we can't beat. If we took OKC 7 games, just because we're a funky matchup for teams. Because LeBron could play center, or he could play the 4, or he could play the 3. LeBron in that dunker spot makes it a long night. Now you can see him getting 20 assists.
Hey, you know what they like to call me? Like to call me the king of conspiracy, sciatica, or did he just take the first couple of weeks of the season off so that he could play the whole season? I mean,
No,
it's a take.
No, I mean, I think it's a whole thing, right? Where they say, like, if you don't want to play in the game, say you got a groin or back injury, because you can't prove those. So I think a lot of people choose the sciatica or back thing. Conspiracy wise, he 40+, man. We 40+. So we need, you know how it go when you get older, man. So I'm not mad at him taking time off. He was like the traveling, him being on his couch. That's the first time in his career, probably the longest he'd been off as far as not traveling with the team and really just resting his body. So you see how fresh he looks out there.
Okay, let's quick text Stan NBA real quick. First thing I want to ask you. All right, Kenyon Martin versus Draymond Green.
I knew he was going to talk.
I had to. No, I had to. Because, see, I mean, come on. See, we know you love the position, the 4 position. You've told me several times who your favorite 4s are: Rasheed, Dirk Nowitzki. Is there 54 power forwards in the history of the game better than Draymond? That's my first question.
Oh, man, it's tough for me because I'm a huge Kenyon Martin fan. From when he was at Cincinnati, they had the Jordan deal. Melvin Levitt, freaking Ruben Patterson. So just that Bob Huggins, Cincinnati era. Kenyon Martin's one of my favorite players. Just his tenacity, Nah, I don't think so, man. Now, a lot of people are saying it's weird when you say take away the rings because that's what makes somebody who you are. You're not going to tell Derek Jeter take away his 5 World Series. Like, it's a weird thing to say, right? Because a lot of people, I mean, let's keep it 1,000. That was the knock on Clyde Drexler. He didn't have enough wins, and Jordan was the winner. Even if him and Jordan had similar averages, and you're not looking at Drexler like that because Jordan had the rings.
And I hate to play devil's advocate, but I have to play it. You were on that same team that lost to Kobe when you were up, 3-2 versus Denver? Remember?
Yeah.
He was on that same team.
Yeah.
Why you lost? What's going on? I mean, you could have played better defense. And we know it's Bean. We know who Bean is. Bean is probably, arguably the GOAT. You can say that. I mean, it's him, LeBron, and Jordan. But you were up 3-2. You lost that series. Everybody likes to blame George Karl, but they could have still won that series.
It's funny you brought this up because I was watching, shout out to Gills Arena and the whole squad. I was looking at, Kenyon has some great points. Let's go through Kenyon's thing real quick. Kenyon was a number 1 pick, right? He's one of 10 players to go to the finals twice in his first 3 years. When I was like, wow, like he named Belgium, like he didn't, the people he named, I was like, oh, wow. And remember when New Jersey Nets, him, Richard Jefferson, Jay Kidd, legendary teams, Kenyon Martin was a vital piece in that. So Kenyon Martin wasn't like a role player, but he led that team in scoring in his first, second, third year. So that's impressive, right? Draymond, dude, they win another championship. You know what Draymond Green's biggest stunt is? Him, if he doesn't kick LeBron in the groin, they win another championship. That literally added to LeBron's legacy. That's the conspiracy. If Draymond does not kick LeBron James, LeBron loses, man, I think we're looking at something totally different.
You segue us to the next question. So I know you seen your boy D-Wade in the news.
Yeah.
He said Michael Jordan was the greatest player he ever watched. And LeBron is the greatest player he ever seen. Now, mind you, you know me. You stay to your take, Jordan's the GOAT on your
right.
I say to my take, LeBron is the GOAT. Is he being politically correct? What do you see from this take?
Oh, D-Wade has to. Because remember, D-Wade was with, I think he got a relationship with Jordan, obviously. Mm-hmm. He grew up in Chicago. It's on record saying Jordan's his favorite player ever. Him and Kobe. Yeah, that's political, man, because LeBron's one of your best friends, and Jordan is your guy. That's your idol, and you're from Chicago. So it's a weird take. The debate just goes on and on and on. It's almost exhausting at times, man, of how people try to, which is interesting because it's one of the only debates that it's not the same position, or it's just totally different. Body types, skill sets, they're not the same player, right? Even at power forward, you'd never compare Tim Duncan and KG. Like, you just don't do it, right? So I don't know. I think it's more political. What is D-Wade going to say? You know what I mean? They would kill him in Chicago if he said anything about Jordan. They pull up old tweets, old video, and be like, bro, you said Jordan was the GOAT. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm going to be honest with you, though. If I'm CP3, I'm Melo, and I'm D-Wade, and say it's you and a bunch of other it's weird calling my friend the GOAT, though. Because one, as a competitor, we the same age, we played in the same era, but to say a living person my age is the GOAT, that has to feel weird.
True.
Just whether it's true or not, it's just like, and I think Melo said that before. He was like, yeah, it's Bron. I like, they can't even wrap their mind around it. Even though the stats, everything, but like for them to say it, and Melo's a Jordan guy. He's literally signed to Jordan. So it's a debate that'll live on beyond us, bro.
Okay. Real quick, man, we got a little bit of time left for the episode. I'm going to do something different. Everybody always does players. Everybody always does coaches. I'm going to do media personalities. Let's play a game real quick. Cut 4, keep 3. Media personality.
All right.
Let's do it. All right, we're going off the top. John Madden. Okay. Skip Bayless.
Cut Skip.
Okay. Shay. Uncle Shannon.
I'm a cut. Yeah.
Okay. I know you're going to keep this one. I should save him.
You already know.
Hey, we know. Listen, just as much as he know me, I know him. Colin Cole.
Come on, man. Colin, that's one of my goats. Keep him.
Okay. So you've cut 2. You only got 2 more cuts and 1 more keep. Stephen A. Smith.
I keep Stephen A.
All right. So you used all your keeps. You've kept Colin. You kept Stephen A. You've kept John Madden. No, Colin.
Yeah.
I guess it's all right. Then you cut Skip Bayless and you cut who's the other person you cut? Shannon. So on your last two that you forgot, Pat Summerall. Of course, we know Pat Summerall.
Yeah.
And of course, Chris Collinsworth.
Wow.
But hey, I'll admit,
Yeah.
I would have kept two. I would have kept John Madden, and I would have kept Colin. You can't beat Colin because Colin can do everything.
And I'm gonna be honest, even though Skip is one of the godfathers of debate, Stephen A is the star of that style. And so like Shannon is new, he didn't put he don't have the journalistic, experience. But like as far as the personality, Shay Shay's up there for sure.
Okay. Quick last question. Who you think is better? Tom Brady right now as far as what he's doing with game calling? Or
That's funny you said that, because I was like, yo, Tom Brady getting way better. Like you see somebody, remember they was making fun of him because he was just kind of getting his feet wet last year. Now it's insane. And you know what makes Tom Brady unique from every other superstar? He's considered the greatest of a sport, and he's accessible in that way. Yes, LeBron does his stuff. He's on all his platforms, but it's different. LeBron's not a commentator. Kobe Bryant was never a commentator. Michael Jordan never commentated. So to see Brady out there commentating the game, knowing guys' shoe sizes, it's kind of mind-boggling. And if I'm a player, like I'm humble, like, bro, Tom Brady knows about me. Like it's dope to see. Low key, Tony Romo's a GOAT too, but I think Tony Romo's broadcasting, he's better at that than his football career. Like, I think that's what almost made him a legend, is going into broadcasting.
good question for tomorrow. Real quick, hit you with this one. All right, right now as we speak, the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs are outside looking in on the playoffs. Who needs this game more, Prince? Who needs this game? Does Dallas need this game more, or does Kansas City need this game more? Who would this game affect more? Dallas Cowboys or the Kansas City Chiefs?
That's a great question, man. And I don't think there's no right or wrong answer. Let's go on the Chiefs side. Like they gotta rack up wins for their confidence. You got a big win against the Colts. Cowboys kicked it off with that Raiders win. Then they beat the champs, the Eagles, in their division. This is not a divisional game, but it's a needed game just for the psyche, I think. But if I had to pick, I might go Cowboys, believe it or not, because I think the Chiefs have a tiebreaker with who is that? Who is that? They just beat the Chargers.
And they have tiebreaker with the Ravens too.
You get what I mean? So I think like more division. So what I'm saying is if the Chiefs lose, it doesn't affect them in their standings. Cowboys, they win. That's a bill of them to route and finish out strong. Because the Cowboys had a tough schedule in the beginning, I believe.
Well, I think both teams have one more hard game on their schedule, so we'll see how it turns out. I still think Cowboys still have to play Detroit. And after Detroit taking that loss, that's big because, of course, when you look at the landscape of division,
Right.
Detroit needs that game more than Dallas does.
Right.
Now, when you look at Kansas City, I think Kansas City has one more tough game, and then they could win out.
Yeah, they could win out.
I think it's Denver. Denver's the last tough game on the
Right.
schedule.
And realistically, a lot of people were saying Kansas City might lose to the Texans.
Well, I will say this. I don't even see us beating Texans. After you see what their defense is.
Yeah, so
their defense is listen, right now, that's the
right. So I think that might be the only I think if Kansas City could beat them, I think they could finish out 10-7, and that gets you in. You know what I mean? That gets you in.
Yeah.
But what I want to ask you is, it's a copycat league with the Colts, right? They look pedestrian against the Chiefs. The Chiefs neutralized the run game. They neutralized the total offense was nothing. And they were talking about coming in at the number one offense in the league. Do you think that's just an anomaly on how the Chiefs were able to play them? And do you think other teams are going to implement that to limit Jonathan Taylor and make Daniel Jones uncomfortable?
As me and you both say, one of our favorite lines, styles make fights. The Chiefs have never been a team that you can just run on. Who have you ever seen them on? They got big Chris Jones in the middle, so you can't run the ball. So when you look at what they're doing, what Shane Steichen is doing on the Colts, compared to what Coach Nick Sirianni is doing on Philly, it's a typical same offense. The run opens up the pass. So you put Danny Dimes, which he's not a bum, but he's not. I say he's a middle of the pack quarterback against a defense with Spags, knows what he's doing.
Especially if that play action not going for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's tough.
And the thing is this what a lot of people don't know too about us is we've been playing reserve. because they're trying to save Jalen for the playoffs so he can do all those run plays that he do. If you notice the first half, he had run plays implemented. That's why we're able to run versus the Cowboys. You cannot run the ball with Danny Dimes like you run with Jalen Hurts. He doesn't squat what he squats. He's not able to take hits like he's going to. I'm not losing. And one thing I'll give you with this, if you don't have a defense like Philly had last year, it's no way you're going to get paid like that. You have to have athletic linebackers. You have to have athletic line. Dallas's defense is played from the inside out. Patty kills people from the inside out. And you saw what Patty did versus the Rams. He killed Aaron Donald. But teams that come from the outside in, Patty, because they're going to keep him in the pocket. So I think that Chiefs will win that game. And I also think that for what we see with the Colts, they're just a poor, there's no disrespect to Indy, but they're poor man's Philadelphia. They have a great running back. They have a great offensive line. But once you stack the box, beat us with your quarterback. And I don't think that the Colts can do that.
Oh, looking at the NFC, looking at the Rams, who's more for real? Stafford and the Rams or Danny Dimes and the Colts?
But you have to go Stafford and the Rams because you have an all-time receiver in Devontae Adams.
He's having a hell of a year.
All-time receiver in Devontae Adams. And then you have an up-and-coming receiver in Puka Nacua.
Right.
And then you still have Kyron Williams, who is he's a middle-of-the-pack running back. When Matthew Stafford is healthy, he throws the ball better. Then listen, and you can quote me on this. He throws the ball better than Tom Brady.
Bro,
when healthy, Stafford throws the ball better. There's no one that throws a deep ball better than maybe Aaron Rodgers.
I've been on
Dan Marino.
I've been on record saying pound for pound, Matthew Stafford's my favorite quarterback. It's been like that for years. And I always bring this up. Matthew Stafford is the quarterback that we say, what if? What if you gave, the what ifs of what if Barry Sanders had Emmitt Smith's line? You got the what if Matt Stafford had a team with an offensive line, and what does he do? He wins the Super Bowl his first year. You get what I mean? I look at Stafford as the new Dan Marino. Like, he's Dan Marino if they gave Dan Marino a team, ownership group, a GM, a coach. He had Don Shula, obviously, but, they didn't have the personnel they needed all the time, right? Stafford's a dog, and I picked him for my MVP.
If they went out and the Super Bowl is through Los Angeles, but I will say this, and it's all I'm going to make a statement. If they went out and if the if the NFC is through Los Angeles and Jalen Hurts goes to the Rams and beats the Rams, if I hear anybody, any media, anybody say anything bad about Jalen Hurts, they need to be shot. I'm just serious. They need to be shot.
To go win in SoFi is major.
You go win in SoFi. You just beat two. You've already beaten. The thing what people don't realize is Jalen Hurts has a winning record versus every quarterback in the league except for probably Matthew Stafford. Him and Stafford, I think they're like 1-1 versus each other. So for him to go to Matthew Stafford and beat him in SoFi, you got to give him love. But I don't even give him that much credit. I think that with the team that they have, Puka Nacua, everything of that nature, Philly would have to play out of this world, which they look defensively like they can. But defense pound for pound Rams, defense pound for pound Eagles, it's a wash. So now it's basically who has a better offense. And right now, the best offense in the NFL is the Rams.
You heard it, man. We appreciate the support. This episode 134, Prince and Barty. Happy holidays. Y'all stay safe out there. We got a bunch of dope content coming your way. Yeah, man. What you got going on?
Well, all I'm going to say is this. Favorite Thanksgiving trimming is mac and cheese. So y'all make sure y'all say your boys some mac and cheese.
Oh, man.
And see, I'm going to a Jamaican Thanksgiving. So, I'm going to have some of that curry goat.
Curry goat,
mac and cheese. And maybe I may sneak a little oxtail on.
Okay, hello. Sorrel on deck, too.
You already know.
You know what it is, man. Prince and Barty 134. Thanks for watching.
You
got to check it. You got to check it, man. Y'all be safe out there. See y'all next time on 135. Peace.